Hello, everyone. Welcome to Outside Food and Drink. I'm Jean.
I'm Victoria.
Today, we're kicking off Shark Month.
Oh, yeah.
With, obviously, the mother of all shark movies. Her father. I think we find out later, in a later installment, it's the mother. Jaws, 1975.
Oh.
Directed, of course, by Steven Spielberg.
I love this movie. I found out a lot of good facts about it, too.
What's interesting about this movie is we wanted to do Shark Month, and I was like, well, talk about the Meg, Sharknado. And I was like, obviously you do Jaws, but I was thinking, like, what is there to say about Jaws? And it's been a minute since I've seen it.
Me too.
And I was watching it, and I'm like, I got a lot to say about Jaws.
I love this movie. I really do.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say about Jaws. Jaws is like a comfort movie to me. And I'm not going to say bad things about Steven Spielberg. Look, he is... I'm not going to lie and say he's my favorite director in the world.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I gave you that look. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm not going to pretend he's my favorite director. But I'm also not going to pretend he's some kind of hack. Obviously, he's not. He's obviously an exceptionally talented man.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak to me.
Yeah. Not all of his movies speak to me either.
Not all of his movies speak to me. Now, some of them, I love Saving Private Ryan. But, like I said, just not all of his movies. I have my favorite directors, and it's not always, yes, it is always like, oh, I appreciate their approach to art and things like that. But on some level, it's that this person their art consistently speaks to me. Like, and it's a comparison I made over and over watching this for a certain reason was Stanley Kubrick.
Yes.
Kubrick always speaks to me, and as I always get baffled when people are like, but he's so cold. And I'm like, okay, but anyway, we're going to talk about why I was thinking about Stanley Kubrick during this movie. So I'm not going to say bad things about Steven Spielberg. I'm not going to say bad things about Jaws, but I will say that I noticed things about Jaws this time, having not watched it in probably 20 years at least. And I was watching it, and I was like, this is just kind of just hitting me this time. And I started looking up some of the old reviews that came out at the time the movie came out, and obviously there's a lot of people high praise.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of people were having the same reaction that I was having. So I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy. Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. But, you notice things when you grow up and or you get older and you see things, because I grew up in a world where Jaws was always there. I do not have a memory of my life before Jaws was a movie.
You didn't have to pay money to see it on TV.
Right. Well, you did, because you had to go to the video store and rent it or whatever. But I don't have... So Jaws to me is like, what? It's kind of like a Star Wars. You just always, it's just a classic. Everybody likes it, And so it doesn't get a lot of critical analysis, really. I mean, I know people do it was like Watergate. I don't give a shit about that. It's a shark movie. All right. So let's talk about it, and I'll kind of talk about some of the things as they come up, and they come up pretty quickly. Yeah, obviously, there's nothing to say, but everybody knows what Jaws is about.
Yes.
A shark harasses a New England town during the tourist season. I think this is supposed to be... It's movie is from 1975, but aren't they... The 4th of July is a big deal because they're pretending it's the next year, it's the bicentennial. Yes,
I believe so. And they say it's on a little island.
It's called Amity Island.
Amity Island, but it was actually filmed on Martha's Vineyard.
Amity Island, which is, I didn't even think to go back and look of the choice of Amity Island when around the same time that Amityville Horror was.
I was thinking that too last night. It hit me last night. I was like, Amityville. Yeah. Wonder where they got that from. But it was actually filmed on Martha's Vineyard, which I've never been to, so I don't know. But it's a beautiful view.
Different parts of Martha's Vineyard, but yeah.
But it was a beautiful view. I know that.
That was cool. It's nice. It's a great setting. Nobody's going to argue with that. It's a great opening. It's an iconic opening of the camera moving through the seaweed and the that's the music and okay. This is I know I hesitate to use the word criticism, but it's like the bigger kind of thing that I noticed this time. It's like this movie tonally is all over the place.
It is.
And you are going to really notice it when you look at it next to Sharknado and the Meg. Neither movie, which is as good as this, clearly. But the one thing you'll say is they both pick a bit and stick to it.
Yeah, they do. And I'm just gonna put it out there now. I've seen Jaws before. It had been a long time for me, but I've never seen any of the other Jaws movies.
I do not remember the first time I saw this movie. I mean, I was a small child when it came out on video. I don't know. But I did see Jaws 3D in the theaters with my mother.
Oh, your mom is such an amazing woman. She let you watch so many things that, like, as a child, my mother would have been like, no. Like, my mom was afraid of me watching Poltergeist, and it was like the movie that was on HBO all the time. Yeah. And when you live in base housing, you kind of get HBO for free. So I'm always watching this movie. Yeah. You know, and she's like, you're going to have nightmare. I never had a nightmare, but I'll tell you, you got the Poltergeist 2 and it came out. Mm-hmm. The blob started coming out from under the bed. I turned it off and I've never actually watched the entire Poltergeist 2. Like, I don't know. And I'm a major, like, I love horror movies, so I'm like, I need to watch that now.
I don't know that you're losing much on
I don't think I am. I've heard a lot of bad things.
I can tell you, you're not losing a whole. I don't know if you're not losing a whole lot with Jaws 3D. It's kind of like if you're a completionist and you got to see all of them.
Yeah,
it's fine for one watch through, but like we get to the end, it's basically Brody's wife is the last person from the original cast that has.
I do want to watch Jaws 2. Like I want to see it just because I think that mayor should have been fired.
We'll get into the mayor.
Oh, he's such an ass. He is so worried about his tourist dollars.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, you got kids getting eaten. Okay,
you've got kids eating, but you're worried about the money. Like,
you know where I want to go? I want to go to a beach where, like, every time somebody goes into the water, somebody gets eaten. That's definitely not going to keep the tourists away.
No, it's not. I mean, we live near a beach, and we hear about sharks and stuff too, but it's rare. I mean, I think we hear about sharks maybe at least once a year around our area.
But they have shark nets up. They have shark nets up.
But I think, like, we always hear about sharks.
But it's always like one person got nipped on the toe because they went out way too far.
Yeah, or because they saw it and started swimming like a crazy ass. Yeah. If you just stay still, they're going to go bite you.
We'll see.
Wow, this movie couldn't do that.
This movie was, okay. I know there's a book, and I may have read the book sometime 100 years ago. I don't care. Like,
I do have some facts about that one too.
There's some books that I think that are worth going to check out if you like the movie. I don't know that this is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I've never read the book, but
we'll talk about. Okay, so obviously we get this great opening. We have this 70s campfire thing going on. We got this guy. I don't know why. It never hit me before. This guy just looks like scuzzy 70s Brad Pitt.
Oh, why? I didn't even think of Brad Pitt when I saw him. I was just like, I don't know. They all just looked very 70s. It was great.
Yeah, they all, and they got the standard douchebag with the acoustic guitar.
Of course.
Chrissy, God love her.
Poor thing.
Poor girl. Chrissy's Jaws' first victim, of course. Okay. I need to say two things about Chrissy. Well, one thing about Chrissy. Poor Chrissy. What? So she does this thing where she's in the water and she kicks her leg up and it's kind of lowered. Like, the core strength on this girl. Dude, it was too bad you didn't follow her because that was going to be some wild sex.
I mean, that's just doing a handstand upside down in the water.
She was too deep.
I mean,
she was like, it was not standing water. She was swimming.
Okay, so you don't think it was a handstand?
No. So he's drunk, and I don't know what his problem is. He falls asleep.
He can't even get his clothes off.
Idiot. Falls asleep. Okay, all right. Jaws gets a hold of Chrissy, and
poor girl.
And I always love this, and it becomes the standard shark attack visual forever. Still to this day, which is just the top half of the person, like, going back and forth in the water like a rag doll.
Yeah.
And this man is still chilling on the beach.
asleep. He's not. I think he hears her screaming, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm coming," but like he just moves his hand, and he's already laying out on the beach. He couldn't get his clothes off to start with. I mean, he could barely keep up with her running. But I think he hears her yelling. He's like, "Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming."
Yeah, she's like, and she, at one point she grabs onto a buoy. I'm like,
the buoy was supposed to stop Jaws.
How is the buoy going to stop the shark?
I don't know.
Climb up onto the buoy, maybe.
Maybe, but you know, Jaws had quite the launch into
that would
things.
not have saved her in Sharknado, but.
She has just been picked up and thrown around in Sharknado. We saw what the tornadoes did to the sharks.
But anyway, okay. Shark gets her. Next day, he's like, she's gone.
Yes.
And Brody, okay. I first want to talk about when we first meet Brody and his wife. What's her name? Ellen. Okay. Let's talk about this house they live in. Let's talk about their bedroom. It's the 70s, so of course there has to be an ashtray. There is an ashtray. This is not the type of ashtray like back when people smoked everywhere. This is the type of ashtray you would put on your coffee table when you're having a party, because it's got spots for like 10 cigarettes at least. What is this doing in your bedroom? What are you doing in there that you need?
And it was so small.
It was huge. What are you talking about? That was a huge ashtray.
No, I was talking about their bedroom.
Oh, the bedroom, yeah. That was the other thing. I was like, this is a child's room. And I wasn't even...
It was like, it was barely bigger than the master bathroom here.
The bedroom was
crazy.
Tiny, but I think maybe, okay, it's like a little seaside house. It's like, whatever, that's fine. I wasn't even talking about that. I'm like, they have like a cartoon character lamp or something.
Yeah.
This wallpaper, everything going on. I was like, this is a 10-year-old girl's room. Like, this is before she discovers like music and stuff as she starts. This is like that weird moment that girls have between being like a little baby and being a teenager.
And do you realize they don't even have girls? They have 2 boys.
They have 2 boys.
And you never see the boys' bedroom.
It's fine. We don't.
I mean, just kind of have to wonder there. Yeah?
It's fine. We don't need to worry about these these fucking kids. There's only one kid in this movie that really matters, but we'll talk about it. Okay, so we get word that there's we think she drowned. There's this Chrissy person, and she's on the beach, but she's dead. Well, she drowned. She washed up.
A part of her washed up.
A part of her watched. Well, we don't know that yet, right? We're finding out little bits and pieces here. He doesn't know what's going on. He gets a phone call.
Yes. And there's 2 phones on the wall.
Okay. Well, there's 2 phones. I think one's the house phone and one's the... But he gets this phone call, and, okay, this is the first time it happens. It happens throughout the movie. At only one point in the movie when it happens, do I believe it should have happened. And this was one of the things where I was like, am I crazy? No, I am not. So he's on the phone. Something where they have he's in focus. You see Ellen and Mike. Is it Mike, the son she's talking to?
I think so, yeah.
In the background. They are having a conversation.
Yes.
And they're vaguely out of focus, because we're focused on him, so we're listening to his conversation. I understand. I get, like, you're recreating the hectic morning or whatever like that. This is not the type of movie we don't need this. We hear them at full volume behind him. I don't want to do all this work this is a lot of mental load trying to separate these conversations, and for no reason. And it will happen later. I understand you're trying to impress upon us that he's kind of overwhelmed and he's got a lot going on and maybe he's distracted or whatever. But it's just it's not annoying in the way that's like it makes me feel for him. It's annoying in the way it's like can I have a separate track on this so I can turn these fucking shit down? Like, have it going in the background, like, have the conversation there where it's like, it's there and it's annoying because you're trying to listen to a phone call, but not like, I can't actually hear the phone call.
Yeah.
Well, Chrissy. Okay. So this will happen again, and it gets worse and worse, and I will talk about it every time. So, and the other thing about it, which I think this is a direct effect of this choice to have a lot of this way too much going on the screen and way too much going on in the sound design. There are moments in this movie where the sound design is absolutely fantastic, like it blows my mind, but these moments where it does this, where they just decide to just flood you with shit, like sensory, it makes these moments in particular make it feel very stagey. And by stagey, I mean I can see the direct line between a play in a theater and this movie. You know, like sometimes you watch a movie and you get the sense that this thing, yes, I mean, obviously all these things are descended from the theater, but like you have a very clear sense of like, this is a movie as it exists in its fully evolved form as a completely separate art form.
Yes.
I'm not that and Steven Spielberg was still young here, so he's still working out his mojo, which he obviously did eventually, you know.
Yes.
But not in this movie, because this movie feels like this is like the first step from theater to movie, where it's not its own thing yet. It's just an amplified version of things that happen in a theater, you know.
Yeah.
Where everybody's acting in these big strokes, and everything is for the back row.
Yeah.
And it does that through the whole movie. There's definitely really moments where they step away from that. And in those moments, you can see what Steven Spielberg will eventually become.
Yes.
Okay. But we'll talk. So Brody is, okay, he meets up with this guy that was trying to hook up with Chrissy. And they're going to where they believe her body washed, because right now they don't know. So they think she just drowned and her body washed up. And this cop starts whistling at him.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, fuck this guy.
Blowing on his little whistle.
Like, what are we in fucking England? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But they get out to the dunes, and she did not drown. She did not drown. Crabs be feasting on Chrissy.
She was eaten.
These little crabs all over the place.
She got some action.
And then he's back at the station.
Yes.
His assistant has the most annoying voice in the world.
Oh my God. I just wanted to be like, you are fired. Like, I wanted to fire her for him.
I know, because he's like, this filing system has got to go. It is not helpful to me.
I've noticed as you get older, it's the little things that get you. And I was just like, I don't know how I dealt with your voice when I was younger. But I hate it now.
Yes. So she picks us. The medical examiner calls, and he's putting shark attack as the cause of death. More annoying sound design. Too many people in here. Too many people talking. I can't hear any parts of the important parts of the conversation. Like, it's everything is wanting the same amount of attention from you.
Yes.
And again, you know, we talk about like movies or moments where it's, you know, it deserves the work to put into it. This is bullshit that I have to do this much work to not be annoyed by everybody talking at the same time. It's a fucking shark movie, okay? It's just a shark. It's just a fun shark movie. Why do I have to figure this out? Okay,
I get it.
And speaking of, why do people gotta put up with some bullshit? Why does this man, he's the chief of the fucking police, why does he have to, A, make his own signs that the beach is closed because there's a corpse getting eaten right there? But also, why does he send this lady with the annoying voice down to the art supply store to get everything you need to make these signs?
He does a lot more than anybody else in the whole town.
He does.
Like, he should be the mayor.
I think Quint should be the mayor, but we'll talk about it. So while all this is going on, he gets word that there's a Boy Scout troop out swimming. They're working on their merit badges for swimming a mile or whatever. Okay, what now? Suppose you're the mayor of, we're not going to tell you what beach we go to, but suppose you're the mayor of the beach of the town where we always go to the beach.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're the mayor there, and or not the mayor, the chief of police.
Okay.
And you have discovered body on the beach.
Okay.
And the medical examiner is like, a shark did this.
Oh no.
Okay, and then somebody else calls you and says, hey, there's a Boy Scout troop out swimming where this person got eaten by the shark.
Oh no.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to make sure that all the annoying kids stay in the beach and the rest come. The rest get out.
But in reality, what you're going to do,
I'm going to get the kids out.
You're going to go get a boat. You're going to commandeer a boat, which you can do as a police chief, because for some reason, the police chief of a seaside tourist town does not have a police boat at his disposal.
And we find out later he doesn't even like going on boats.
Doesn't even like going on boats. Well, okay, but this is a dereliction of duty, because now if your phobia has interfered with your ability to save lives, you need to remove yourself from the situation.
Oh no, not him.
He doesn't. What he does do, he doesn't commandeer a boat. He doesn't go. He sits there on the beach smoking. Gotta be smoking all the time. He's smoking on the beach, and he's like watching these Boy Scouts. You can hear them yelling, getting yelled at.
Yep.
And I'm like, well...
Oh, but he was waiting for the boat to come get him.
No. I know he was waiting for the boat to come get him, but this is a little more urgent than wait for the boat to come get you.
Yeah, holler at them.
They're already out there. They're out there, and you just be like, if a shark comes, what are you going to do?
Stand here and wait for the boat. Hope they don't get eaten until I get there.
I mean, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so they do get, yes, the ferry does eventually get there. Mayor, city council, they're on him about, like, you can't be closing the beach. We need the tourist money.
Then they tell him it wasn't a shark attack.
It was a shark attack. We know it was a shark attack.
We know that, but they tell him it wasn't.
Either way, there's a corpse on the beach.
Yeah. You know, the corpse is kind of the one that's going to tell you how it died, and I believe the shark attack story.
Okay, this ferry ride, this boat, whatever this fucking, oh God, this is terrible. Again with the sound design.
Yeah.
Again with all these red-faced men in their 70s suits, chomping on cigars, like,
yeah.
Look, a lot of good things happened in the 70s. You know, there was a lot of great movies. This is a good movie, but there were terrible men in all of them. Terrible people. Everybody's hair was awful. Their bedrooms were awful. Their ashtrays were awful. Ugh. Okay, anyway.
She loves the movie, can you tell? I mean, she really does.
I do love the movie.
There's just certain things in there that
I do love the movie,
yeah.
and it, like, mostly for one person, but okay. All right. Let's talk about Alex and Mrs. Kittner. Okay? They're on the beach.
Yes.
Have you ever had this experience where your mother looks at your hands and be like, your fingers are pruny, you gotta wait?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it's a goofy test of going back.
Yeah,
and
but
yeah, I had that too. My mother, oh, you're a prune. Yeah.
Or telling the child, you need to stay out of water for a while. You look like a prune.
You just had half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can't swim for another 2 days. You know. Or you're gonna get a cramp, and then you're gonna drown,
and the tides are gonna take you
away.
What the side tides or whatever they call
everything
them.
I've ever heard about riptides in my life.
Yeah, riptides.
I did not get caught in one until I was in my 30s.
Really? I've never gotten caught in a riptide, thank God.
It's terrible. It's scary. But anyway, so Alex and Mrs. Kruger. So she's like, no, your fingers are pretty. You can't. He's like, Mom, please.
10 more minutes.
All right. A lot's going on in the scene. She sends Alex back out. There's this man. There's a special place in hell for this man. He is throwing his a stick out. He's having his dog fetch a stick from the ocean. Okay. Several problems with this. But the biggest one is every time that dog gets that stick, because it was a big dumb retriever or something. I love retrievers, but like, good God, they are the dumbest dogs. I love retrievers.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about what we have.
They're not dumb. There are a lot of things, but they're not dumb.
No, they're not. But
every time that dog gets this stick out of the water, it's getting a mouthful of salt water.
Yeah.
This dog's going to be dehydrated in a minute. You're going to kill this dog if the shark didn't eat him first, which it does. We assume because the dog never comes back.
Yeah.
So you're an asshole. You've killed your fucking dog, dickhead. There's all this beach that you could have been throwing this stick on. I hate you.
She wasn't talking to me, people.
No, shark should have taken him. Anyway, Brody is there. He's watching the beach. He's watching for something to happen. I like this moment because he's watching for something to happen, and this guy's getting in his face, about everything going on with the closing down the beach and blah blah blah, and he's kind of
looking over his shoulder.
He's looking over his shoulder, at one point, like, somebody screams, a girl horsing around with her boyfriend, and she screams, and he kind of like alerts and sits up. This is like the time where I said this noise clutter that comes up throughout the movie. This is the time to do it, and they do it here.
Yes.
This is it.
Yes.
Because now I get the full vibe of somebody's in his face. He's trying to do his job. Everybody's making noise. Here's this other noise that's wild, and he's just trying to focus, and everything's kind of like sensory. This is when it makes sense. Anyway, poor Alex Kurtner. He just wanted 10 more minutes in the water.
That's all he wanted was his raft.
Jaws destroys this fucking kid. I mean, just destroys this fucking kid.
And sends the raft back to shore flat, bloody.
Okay, but when it's getting him, okay, everybody, like, nobody notices what's going on.
Nope.
There's people like 10 feet away. And
Yeah.
So he gets him, and his blood is just spreading out, which is not how this would work in real life, but his blood is spreading out, and these people, like, you know, a couple yards away from him, they're playing football, and they see all this blood, they're like, ew.
Ew.
And there's just this football floating in the blood. But so the raft washes ashore, and his mother, everybody's back but Alex, and his mother loses her mind. His mother, she's going to get her revenge here, because she's going to start putting out newspaper ads about Brody knew that somebody had died on the beach and didn't tell anybody.
Yep.
I'm like, he tried. Look, lady.
He tried. He tried to shut it down.
Yeah.
Not his fault. Talk to your mayor.
Talk to your mayor. So this angry town comes down because he wants to close the beach.
Yes.
Now he wants to go, like, we have 2 dead people now.
Yep. It's time.
It's time. Let's close the beach. And none of the townspeople want the beach closed. I'm like, if this was your kid, would you want him to close the beach?
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's insane. It's insanity. These people are insane. You talk about the mayor, it's all these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But here he comes to save the day. Quint. Right? This pirate, right? He's like, because they have put a bounty of $3,000 on this shark.
Yes.
And Quint's like, I do not roll out of bed for less than $10,000. In 1970s dollars, what's that? That's $50,000 probably.
Probably.
At least. I don't know. You could buy a house for, work a shift at McDonald's and buy a house back then. So probably he's a millionaire. I don't know. Okay, so what are the problems with this movie? I talked about the staginess and the weird sound design choices. This movie is very busy.
So busy.
It's so busy. There's a lot of going back and forth. And it's weird because the final act of when they finally get on the boat to go hunt the shark is long. It's a long finale.
Yeah.
And I feel like the pacing of the first 2/3 of the movie is really off.
Yes.
I mean, obviously we get a great payoff for it, but I'm like, what is all this back and forth? Because we get Brody's at home and he's thinking about stuff, and his wife comes up behind him and he kind of jumps. I'm like, did you think the shark was in the house?
I know. Yeah. He was looking at a shark book. I'm like, it didn't jump off the page at you, honey. Yeah.
Settle down, man. But so Michael's got a boat for his birthday, and he's out there. They can see him from where they are in the house. They can see him down by the pier in his boat. He's like, Brody's like, Michael, come on out of there. And Ellen's like, what are you talking about? He's in a boat.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Then she sees the picture in the book of the shark eating the boat. She's like, Michael,
get out. It's like, what did your father say?
It's a good moment. It's a goofy. It opens up with this goofiness of like, oh no, the shark's in the house. But then we get a lot of people. So okay, now they put this bounty out, and so everybody is thinking they're going to get a piece of this shark.
Oh yeah.
So we get these stupid assholes on the pier. They're baiting the pier with the wife's Thanksgiving. Is it the Thanksgiving roast or the Christmas roast?
I think he said it was the Thanksgiving pot roast.
It's not even the 4th of July. Why is that already there? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Anyway, apparently they emptied out the freezer to bait this fucking shark.
Maybe they bought the Thanksgiving roast the year before or something. It was on sale.
Now, I want to say about this scene. I really like this scene. I really appreciate this scene. But this goes back to the tone is so weird. Because this is a fucking amazing and hilarious scene. They're baiting this off this pier. They've got their lines like hooked into the pier. Then the shark grabs it, and he basically tears the pier apart, pulling it out. And these guys in their slow ass reactions are like tweedledee, tweedle, hey, the line's moving. And then he pulls the pier apart, and the one guy ends up on the part of the pier that the shark takes out. And then, his friend's like, come on, man, run, or swim.
Swim, I know you can do it.
And then Jaws is like, oops, forgot something, and he turns around. He takes the pier with him back.
Oh.
One of the highlights for me is the pier turning around.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Next day, town's going crazy. People from all over the place. As far south as New Jersey. Right? They're descending on Amity Island. They're going to get a pier. I'm like, you drove all the way from New Jersey for $3,000?
Yeah, they said there's like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that thing. There was like Connecticut. There was license plates in the parking lot from
everywhere. And here, this is where stuff starts getting wild. Hooper, Richard Dreyfuss, arrives. I had no idea Richard Dreyfuss was so hairy. This man has an ungodly amount of hair on his chest. He doesn't look like he would be the type, but he just...
Maybe they just glued some fur.
They might have. He's just so hairy. He's very amused, as I am, because he's looking at all this amateur hour of these people getting into their dinghies and stuff to go hunt a shark. He's like, they're all gonna
die.
And I was like, yeah, my thought was, because they're all clumped together, they get out into the water, but they all kind of clump together. I'm like, this is just a buffet for this fucking shark.
Yeah, I mean, the shark can pick and choose, whatever size, color,
little spicy,
meaty you want.
I want to get the spicy New Jersey guy here.
If you're in for just a couple wings, or if you're here for the whole steak dinner.
I mean, yeah, it's wild. Okay. We're doing an autopsy. Hooper is doing an autopsy on Chrissy. And he's like being very dramatic.
Yes.
Again, we're getting this weird tonal stuff here where he's like, we have this, he's kind of a little over the top. He goes back and forth and he kind of he rightly yells at Brody for smoking.
Yeah, he's like, don't light that cigarette.
Yeah. He's very dramatic. He's measuring bite marks. But meanwhile, at the pier, they have caught this shark. This thing is tiny.
Yeah, it's a little tiger shark.
This thing, you can look at it. I don't have to measure anybody's jaws. I can tell that's not going to eat a person. I mean, It could hurt a person. That's not like destroying. I mean, this thing's dragging piers around. This is not it.
It did not swallow Chrissy.
No. And Brody here is uncautiously happy. He's like, yeah, we got it. Yeah, and Hooper's like, no, you did not get it.
Let's go cut let's go cut it open and see what's inside.
Which they're not doing yet. And I think it's, that's what I was talking about, the pacing.
Yeah.
I think they just had too much going on in the front end of this movie, and the stuff that we should have spent more time on, like this scene just felt like it just went boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I felt like all of this should have been stuff we spent a little more time on. But again, it's a fun shark movie. I'm sitting here looking at it like it's, fucking The Phantom Thread or something. It's just a fucking shark movie. Anyway, so Mrs. Kittner arrives, slaps the shit out of Brody.
Yes.
You motherfucker, you knew.
You killed my kid.
You killed my baby. I'm like, yeah, but other people helped, so.
Yeah. You need to talk to your mayor.
Talk to all
yet again.
They cut open. They finally, Hooper's like, we got to cut open. He's explaining the bite radius to Brody. And he's like, we got to cut open that shark. So they go, they cut open that teeny tiny shark, and there is fish heads and milk, I guess.
And it looked like a can of something.
License plates from Louisiana.
Yeah.
This thing is all the way from the bayou. This thing has had a long trip, and then he's like, I just got here. Why are you fucking killing me?
Exactly. I didn't know I should be watching out for people like you.
Told me Yankees were friendly, but
they lied.
Okay, so I want to ask you this. So on the boat, we kind of find out that Hooper, obviously he's got education or whatever. He's with this Oceanic Institute, whatever. And we find out here that his family is quite wealthy.
Yes.
And I'm looking at him, and he says that, and the way he says it, and I was like, oh, I know who this is. Did you have a thought about it?
Jack Hodgins.
Yes.
From Bones. Yes.
Oh my God, they had to have based Hodgins on him. This had to have inspired Hodgins. This is so on the money.
Yeah.
Because he's just like this guy and he just knows all this random shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought of Hodgins like automatically.
Okay. All right. So we're going exploring. We're finding heads. We're going diving. We're finding heads. We're finding shark's teeth embedded in body parts, and he drops it because the head scares him.
Yeah.
It's 4th of July. This scene cracked me up because it's the 4th of July. The beaches are packed.
Yes.
Everything that has happened. The first person that dares into the and everybody knows what's happened now. And everybody's like, I don't know, should I go? The first person that dares into the water is a mother with a bunch of kids.
Because the mayor told them to get into the water.
The look on her face, I've been like,
yeah.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. No. The mayor is telling me no.
Yeah. Exactly. The mayor could have been a full meal.
The look on her face, I was dying. I was like, and she's like, okay, kids, I guess. I'd be like, you're getting in front of me. Get a little more morsel in there. A little, maybe it'll eat you and it won't be so hungry and it won't come after me. I know, I'm a terrible parent, but anyway. Everybody's kids are on the beach. I mean, so obviously this is gonna be a disaster waiting to happen. Finally, I guess it was just the whole thing with like Michael getting nearly killed and all this drama with nobody wanting to go into the water, and everything's just a mess, right? Like, you can't even pretend this is not happening anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So finally, the mayor relents and says, okay, we're gonna give Quint his $10,000, but bring back that fucking shark. Okay. I love Quint. I love him and Hooper, how they play off each other. This was we're talking about Hodgins. This was yes, I don't believe for a second that when they designed the Hodgins character, they were not thinking of Hooper here, because Quint has this thing where he tells him you have city hands, and he's like, well, you're not some working class here. I'm like, this is definitely like a Bones or a Booth and Hodgins exchange.
Yes, exactly, Booth and Hodgins.
Yeah. So Mrs. Brody, Ellen does. She's sure sending her man off with like a lot of. I don't know what she thinks is going to happen on this boat, but she's making sure he's got his Dramamine and his zinc oxide, and
I think she gave him an extra pair of underwear and socks.
Extra pair. You're definitely going to be shitting them, so you're going to need them. He's got his nice matching rain gear with his galoshes or whatever they are on. And meanwhile, Quint is just rolled out of bed. Hooper looks like he's getting ready to go yachting. He's like, I'm not hunting a shark. What are you talking about? I mean, it's just so funny because Quint was sitting there making fun of Hooper having city hands.
Yeah.
And Brody, he's originally from New York City.
Yep. But
Brody is so not up to this task. It's like, he's got this bottle of Old Spice that he's using to cover up all the stink of the chum.
I was like, I've never noticed that before. I was like, OMG.
So we have some of these moments here that are very weird, and I feel like if this movie had been made even 10 years later, much less 20 or 30 years later, this exchange would have played differently.
Yeah.
Between Hooper and Quint, like Quint is just there guzzling this beer, and Hooper's like, "Is this coffee or water that he has?" But he guzzles it too, and they crush their cake. I'm like, "Okay, guys." And then here's Brody with his Old Spice and his Dramamine. Like, I don't know.
What time's bedtime out here on the ocean?
Oh my God. We got they got these barrels that they're going to use. There's a lot going on. They have these barrels that they're going to use, and they're going to some of my favorite thing though, I make fun of these barrels, like the way the barrels are set up, but I like the barrels. The barrels are maybe one of my favorite parts of the final act, the way the barrels get used. Like, they just pop up, they disappear, and they pop up again. You're like, shit, the shark's back. And we get the whole gonna need a bigger boat thing. Okay, my thing was like, with the gonna need a bigger boat. Great line.
I loved it.
Great delivery.
Yeah.
Great line.
Yep.
And then it's like they go later on. He keeps telling like, "You're going to call the Coast Guard, right?" And Quinn's just like, "Get the fuck away from me," you know?
Yeah.
And at one point he gets on. Quinn's gonna get on the radio or whatever, and he's talking about. Brody is talking about. It's the weirdest thing. Brody is talking about. You're gonna tell them to go get that we need a bigger boat, right? And okay, it's the weirdest transition here, because it's just like. I think the effect we're supposed to get, it feels like something from a much older movie. Because I think the effect that we're supposed to get is this kind of, they're having this conversation about the bigger boat, and it just kind of fades off, and we kind of transition to the next scene. But it doesn't. It just feels like they just chopped it right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so, I've never noticed that before. I'm like, why did they do that? That is very weird. It's weird. I mean, like, stuff like that makes it's like the little things like that that's like, it throws me out of the tone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've got the gonna need a bigger boat thing. And that's, I feel like, so the gonna need a bigger boat, the delivery of that line and everything, that feels like something from I say modern, but a more contemporary movie.
Yeah.
Whereas like this weird transition where they're talking and it just kind of transitions, that feels like something from a much older movie.
Yes.
You know, and you kind of feel like we have this great scene of Quentin Hooper comparing their scars.
Yeah. That was a great scene.
That was a great scene. And then we get of course, the famous USS Indianapolis story.
Yes.
Which is a true story.
It is a true story.
Terrifying story. Like, you know, you're not going to meet them anymore because, like, most of these guys, most World War II veterans they're basically all gone now. But these are the kinds of, you know, you always think about like your grandpa or something, or your great grandpa who was in World War II, and you never think about this is the kind of shit they had to do. This is the kind of shit they did, especially those guys in the Pacific, because like this stuff. I mean, yes, this one was a particularly bad one, you know, but there was always stories about, you know, like the Kennedy on his boat, and they're like or on the submarine, they're just out there floating in the water, and there's a book called, if you have any interest in like the Indianapolis story, like stories like that, there's a book called The Good War, and it's all these oral accounts from World War II, and there's no shortage of fucked up stories like. But anyway, and he talks about the sharks. This is another connection that my mind made. When he's talking about the sharks, and he talks about obviously the famous thing about the doll's eyes, black eyes, and doll's eyes, and they roll back, and it's just white.
Yeah.
He's like, I was like, oh, doll's eye, like black, like devil's eyes, like Michael Myers. And I thought about the Loomis's little monologue about Michael Myers' eyes in Halloween.
Oh, yeah, how they're totally empty.
Yeah, the devil's eyes. It's just 3 years later. Again, you never say, hey, that had to have been in the back of his mind somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
It had to have been.
It's a very similar feeling. So this is a great monologue. Quinn's entire it's amazing.
Yeah.
The whole movie is worth this fucking monologue. I think the whole movie is worth this monologue, and the whole movie is worth that raft, Alex Kittner's raft washing up on shore.
Yeah.
But then it breaks down, you know, they're having fun again, and they're singing, and a great shot, you get that great shot of outside the boat and the barrels there with this little tracker that Hooper put on it. Yeah, this shark doesn't give a shit about your sing-along.
No, he doesn't. He's ready to eat dinner.
So this is like, I do like all this as the shark is kind of fucking with them, going back and forth, you know. There's Quinn's great because like at one point like a fire starts and he's like, hey, you know, Brody, put out that fire.
Yeah.
Just really casual. Okay, this so we've established that Brody does not like the water. So, of course, he would move to a seaside town to be the police chief. But he does not like the water. Nope. He does not like boats. But he's got to do this.
Yes.
Right? And we get a lot of shots of him kind of almost falling off the boat and him, like, his footing is not really great.
Yeah.
But this is the type of thing where I think it's just, I can hear them. I know what they're trying to do. They're establishing, they're kind of keeping this through line of establishing that this is a thing he is overcoming to do his job. And
yeah.
I get it. But it feels very kind of, these choices of always focusing on his feet, and it feels slapped on. And like, I was like, I can hear them talking about this. Like, I can, in my head, I can hear like Roy Scheider And Steven Spielberg saying, hey, like, wouldn't it be funny if I'm always kind of slip and sliding? Like, yeah, it would be. Let's do that. You know, like I can hear that while I'm watching it. Like this.
Yeah.
Brody is trying to call the Coast Guard. He himself goes into the radio, to the cabin, gets the radio, tries to call the Coast Guard, and Quint comes in and basically goes Jack Torrance all over the radio.
Yeah.
Smashes everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's recurring, like I said, the recurring comedy of the barrels, and the recurring comedy of Quint, because he had told this whole Indianapolis story, and basically he's like, that is why to this day I don't wear a life jacket. I'm like, I don't see how the two come together.
Because the USS Indianapolis had very few life vests.
Okay, but why won't he wear a life jacket now?
I guess because he survived that without one.
Well, life jackets are too good for him, but not for
not for the rest of them.
Yeah, he starts. He gives them out. You know, we end up getting this cool sequence with Hooper goes into the shark cage, which Quint had been mocking earlier.
Yes.
He's like, you're gonna get in the cage, and then the shark comes to the cage, and then like,
yeah. It's like I don't understand what you're doing.
But we do have the great, obviously, you know, Jaws goes for it, and we have the great moment of like, you're thinking that Hooper might be, he kind of goes to the bottom, he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and he kind of drops down.
Yeah.
I think he probably would have gotten the bends at some point, because he's rapidly descending and ascending and stuff, but whatever, it's fine. Obviously, Shark eats Quinn. He eats half the fucking boat.
Yes, he does.
Eats Quinn while he's at it.
Yep. Yum num num.
So Brody does this. They had actually alluded to this possibility earlier in the movie, but we get Brody getting the scuba tank into the shark's mouth and exploding it, and the shark goes everywhere. Great scene.
I love that scene.
That's a great scene. It's a great scene when they're floating back into shore, like, because Hooper comes up from the bottom, and they're and the barrel is still there.
Those barrels are relentless.
Those barrels are relentless. I can nitpick it all day. I can say why I don't like Steven Spielberg as much as 20 other directors, but the fact of the matter is, I love this movie.
Yes, I do too. I love Jaws.
Yeah.
It's definitely the shark movie that everybody tried to go off of to make their own shark movie.
Sure. And you know, and this was a time in the 70s they were doing a lot of these wild-ass disaster movies. Yeah. And this is a cycle that comes back every so often. But
yes, it does.
They were doing like the Towering Inferno and the Poseidon Adventure and all this type of stuff. And this was probably, in fairness, out of all these disaster movies that were coming out back then, this was most assuredly the best of them. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, I just, geez, I just don't know how I never noticed that. Why won't anybody? At one point, while we were watching this, Quint and Hooper and Brody had just started off on their journey, you know. Mm-hmm. And Quint's just steady hollering and singing and making jokes. And Vicky says, does he ever shut up?
He was annoying me.
And I wrote in my notes when you said that, I was like, no, nobody in this movie ever shut up.
That's funny that you wrote that. Yeah, because he's just going on and on and on. I'm like, does he ever shut up and just give anybody a moment of silence?
I mean, yeah. That was, I think maybe if there's like anything about this movie that really bugs me on a visceral level, it's literally that nobody ever shuts the fuck up.
Yeah, that it bugged me with him, mm-hmm. and I'm not sure why it was so much with him, or if it was just at that point of the movie where it had so much overload that I just wanted him to shut up.
Well, and I think part of that's intentional. With him. A part of it, though, is his character, his accent. And, it's like, wait, what? Wait, huh?
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's like a contrast to Hooper, really.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good contrast,
though.
It
is, yeah.
So.
Again, you know, we're not going to bother rating it, because I think we're both going to give it 5 shredded rafts out of 5, I would say.
Yeah, you know, 5 shark teeth out of 5.
5, yeah. 5 barrels out of 5. So, I have nothing else. Do you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So that is it for Jaws. Next week, we're going to be talking about The Meg, which is, I know, not, considered as good of a movie as Jaws. I understand that, but I love it.
I do too.
It's near and dear to my heart. Actually, I think megalodons in general are a fascinating idea.
Yeah, they are.
So we're going to talk about that. And in the meantime, follow us on our socials. And now that information will be in the show notes. You can also check out our other podcast, Deconstructing the Dark Passenger, podcast about all things Dexter, and The Final Assessment, which is a podcast about the show Evil. And we're in season 3 of Evil. We're going to wrap up season 4 of Dexter. We're going to do we're not going to do the season 5 of Dexter because we don't have enough time to do season 5 before Resurrection starts. So we're going to just do some other things about Dexter. We're going to look at some of the Dexter villains and things. And so that will be coming soon. And in the meantime, drop us a line, follow us on our socials. If you want to flame me for saying a sideways word about Steven Spielberg or Jaws, that's fine. I don't care. It's fine. Like I said, I love the movie. Steven Spielberg, great director, but I like plenty of his movies. So.
Yeah.
And until next week, when we talk about The Meg.
Later.
Later.